each other. 10. Reduced inequalities, you gotta be given the same chance when applying for employment. 11. Sustainable cities and communities, you deserve a roof over our heads, we need some unity. 12. Responsible production and consumption so we let our rights get bigger then our stomachs don't waste nothing. 13. Climate action, be proactive, cause all the CO2 that we're emitting is a bad thing. 14. Life below water, get it in order, cause we're killing all the fish with the oil that's being brought up. 15. Life on land, let's understand the survival of the birds and trees are in our hands. 16. Peace, justice and strong institutions, the people have the power to obtain the solution. 17. Partnership for the goals, we all need each other when the road gets cold. I am a team with a dream, and with Team's dream I believe I can achieve. Again, I am a team with a dream, and with Team's dream I believe I can achieve. Again, I am a team with a dream, and with Team's dream I did achieve. Yeah, and so I'm wishing everyone the best of luck in the 2016 Team's Dream video contest. Remember, we all have a dream, and it's up to us as to whether we follow those dreams or we let them slide away. So I suggest we go follow our dreams. It's our time. Yeah.
My name is Harrison Siegel.
My name is Ronan.
I'm Adrian.
I'm George Biff. I'm Pablo Ramirez.
I'm from Paris, France.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm from Dubai, United Arab Emirates.
I'm from San Francisco.
From Mexico City, Mexico.
My dream is to improve education.
My dream is to clean up California's coasts.
My dream is to stop all world hunger. And my dream is to create the next art form.
And my dream is to end food waste.
So what do we all have in common? We're all teens. We're all teens whose dreams have been heard and actualized by Global Co-op.
The Global Co-op Network is a global nonprofit organization based in Arlington, Virginia. It focuses on connecting youth and their passions around finding solutions to everyday challenges, local and global, by connecting them with established networks and expertise, utilizing living room salons. The Co-op Network has hosted over 50 salons within the past 3 years, focused on a range of issues, from mental health to mindfulness, female empowerment, youth engagement, refugees, and earth conservation. The goal of the co-op is to empower intergenerational engagement focused on teen priorities to help incubate change. 3 years ago, in 2014, the co-op network launched its flagship initiative in a series of living room salons with teens called Teen Stream. Teen Stream was created to engage teens globally around their passions by connecting them with networks, mentors, organizations, and other teens to help them take action towards their dreams. They did this through a global video competition and are now hoping to create virtual dream hubs, which will connect teens virtually and help them take action towards their dream. Support the Global Co-op Network so we can continue helping these teens and
Welcome. Our teens from all over the world created that video, and I want to thank them. So I want to thank you for joining us on this incredible Saturday afternoon to celebrate Teen Stream. I'm Linda Staley, the founder of the Global Collab Network, and we work to curate living room salons, design-oriented salons, and other unique environments like video competitions and virtual rooms to inspire teens and millennials to be change makers. So you're in for a real treat today because our teens are going to be leading this celebration. Teen Stream uses an annual video contest to engage teens across the world to address United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. How many of you have heard of this, the SDGs, as they're called? That's pretty good, because most adults haven't heard of them. So everybody's working to educate everybody on the planet about the Sustainable Development Goals, including a number of teachers that are here with us today. And then we're working to build virtual rooms where the action happens, led by teams that are, we call them dream hubs. And those are the rooms where teens come in and work to make action happen, connecting with networks and mentors. So be ready to be inspired today. We have our Teen Stream co-creators, These are the people that help us with our judging, with our marketing and publicity and the design of TeenStream. And we have everything we do with TeenStream, we try to have led by teens. So let's see, I wanted to ask if our TeenStream co-creators could raise their hands. And then we have 2 or 3 adults. Julie Murphy, where are you? There you are. John Gingloff, where are you? He's our photographer. Oh, there he is. Hi, Don. And myself. Okay. So these are the teams that are helping us, and you'll hear more from them today. They'll be leading our conversation. So we are, let's see, I wanted to now introduce you to our first CoLab employee. We're really excited because we are now have an employee. Amna Balul is here. Where are you, Amna? She's probably out in front. Oh, there you are. Yay. Okay, so Amna, she was our summer intern, and now she is our CoLab fellow. She is at William & Mary, and she helped hire our fall interns, and Kira Tucker. Kira, raise your hand. And Hannah is the one that welcomed you at the front, who spearheaded our amazing registration. So Kira's working with us on the Smithsonian work that we're doing, a whole separate initiative to engage folks, and you'll hear about that. And Hannah's helping us with TeenStream. And Amna was our mentor director this year. We liaisoned all the winners with mentors, and you'll hear more about that. And then she's working on our female empowerment initiative. So we're gonna get an overview, but I want to say this event is being photographed, as you can see, and live streamed by Turkish-American TV. Thank you, Hurriyet, one of our board members. And this is also an informal affair, and I want you to get up in the middle of this and go get more Turkish coffee and tea and treats, because they have to leave at 2:30, so I want to make sure we take advantage of that. This is an amazing group from Tyson's, and Kazem White, raise your hand, Kazem, and her colleague. Go to Tyson's, they're just amazing. So that's pretty much it. Restrooms are over here. Keep your conversations to a minimum. We have a very tight schedule. Each person gets 1 minute to speak. It's ridiculous, I know, but we've got 2.5 hours, so we've got a lot to go through. So I'm going to be like going like this, so keep an eye out for me. So Amna, take it away.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much, Linda, for that kind introduction. So the Global CoLab Network is a non-governmental organization that focuses on connecting youth, teens as well as millennials, and their interests and passions around the UN Sustainable Development Goals and finding solutions to these challenges. And they connect them with established networks and expertise using their own design lab salons. The CoLab has hosted over 50 lab salons in the past 3 years in living rooms on a range of issues, from science diplomacy to mental health, female empowerment, mindfulness, youth engagement, refugees, and conservation. And the goal of the CoLab really is to empower intergenerational engagements focused on youth priorities, working to incubate change. The CoLab is really all about encouraging collaborations and action by empowering intergenerational engagements with a focus on youth-led solutions. We encourage people to host small, intentionally targeted, curated gatherings in their living rooms. And please refer to our how-to guide under the resources tab of our website for more information. And a few samples of the guide are also offered on the back table, describing how you can really host a design lab salon. And we're happy to advise you on this as well. The CoLab has convened small salons focusing on female empowerment, and we've partnered with Brie Mather's campaign, Love the Skin You're In. And she's addressed over 1,800 teen girls in Northern Virginia on body positivity and mental health resilience. I'm really excited today to be unveiling a new initiative that builds on this effort, which we'll discuss more about later. Our intern on the Smithsonian and environmental front will be speaking next.
Hello, I'm Kira Tucker, the fall intern working with the CoLab on the environmental issues. We are working with the Smithsonian Conservation Commons and the Earth Optimism Summit to design new teen dream hubs on environmental themes. We're working with Ryan Cole from the Smithsonian, who last year asked the CoLab to bring youth and our rapper J.O. from London to the summit. We are working with Christine Coleman, a teacher in Fairfax County, to help us locate local teams to design and lead these hubs. And Christine is a mentor for Maria, one of our winners for this year. Specifically, we are designing a series of eco-oriented salons in the next few months on environmental topics, likely on plastics, water quality, gardening, climate change, and other issues that teens identify as priorities. If you know any teens who would be interested in engaging and working with teachers and experts from the Smithsonian and other organizations, see me after the program or look on our table out front for more info. We are delighted that a few environmental organizations have joined us today, helped by our partnership with the Plastic Pollution Coalition. And now, Hannah will speak more about Teen Stream.
Hi, I'm Hannah Jensen, the fall intern for the CoLab working on Teen Stream. I'm a college student at Pepperdine University working in DC for the semester, so I'm here. 4 years ago, in 2014, we launched our flagship initiative, a series of leisure salons with local teams called Teen Stream. We are here to celebrate our winners of the 2017 Teen Stream Contest and launch our 5th annual video competition for teens globally to dream and connect those passions with one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. Our goal is to engage teens globally around their passions, connecting them with mentors and creating virtual rooms we call Dream Hubs to connect them with others to take action on their dreams with a focus on the UN SDGs. We are piloting the Dream Hubs and now have 4, and by the end of the year we hope to double that. Our goal is that hundreds of teens globally will be connecting virtually within the next 2 years on all of the 17 SDGs in virtual time, sharing best practices for action in their local communities on each of the goals. Thanks to our mentor director, Amna, for doing an amazing job this past summer, lining up our winners with spectacular mentors, which you can see here in the program. I'm now going to turn it over to Aiden, our longest running Teen Dream co-creator.
Hi, I'm Aiden Holland. I live in Arlington, I go to school in DC, and I want to give you guys a little history on Teen Stream. So you've been seeing these slideshows and videos that we've been creating over the last 5 years. And so we had some great videos from J.O., who was our first or second grand prize winner. And he's a rapper from London, and he's been making videos to raise awareness about the UN's goals and just like general conservation and positivity. And a little bit more history. So I was the one who helped Linda 5 years ago make a website and get our first 50 submissions coming in from all over the world. We got some videos from Australia, who was very young submitters. He was 13, a 13-year-old from Australia was our first submitter. So that was great. And so Teen Stream was actually started by 3 high school students and Linda. And so it was Linda's daughter, Jackie, and her friends, Asia and Teddy. Asia's dad and mom ran a small little summer camp where they actually produced our first promo video, which we're actually going to pull up.
Martin Lake. Front office just sent this in. Video competition for teens, middle school, high school, on dreams. What are your dreams? And wow, $500 first prize.
As you can see, we've actually changed the video competition quite a bit. And so that was our first initial promo. And next up, I'm going to have Bonnie come and talk about her consumer experience.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Cabot. I go to School Without Walls in Washington, D.C. And I got involved with Teens Dream as a submitter of the very first 2014 competition where I submitted a video about racial discrimination. Teens Dream is all about supporting not just the winners, but all of the submitters. Our goal is to figure out how to engage all of our submitters through the virtual Dream Hubs. So we want to thank all of the teens who submitted this year and in the past, and all of their 400 videos are up on our website and on the map, which is also on the website, thanks to Aiden and his mom, Allison made. So Teens Dream asked me to join them as a local co-creator the year after I submitted a video for the contest. As a local co-creator, I've had the pleasure to present twice now at American University on a video for change and the power of change making through video. I also had the chance this past year to present at to attend a Model UN conference to learn more about the SDGs and to help with judging. We are also starting a Teens Dream Club at my school. Today we are recognizing a few of the teachers who assigned Teens Dream to their classes, including our grand prize winner Cade and her teacher Carrie, and our local Virginia winner, Victor's teacher Andrea, who both will speak shortly. We want to thank all the teachers globally who have helped us and ask that you reach out to more teachers and schools to teach and engage teens via the effort on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Kat? Oh, sorry. Next is Amna, sorry.
So unfortunately, Kat could not make it today, but I'll be speaking on her behalf. Kat is a freshman at George Washington University, and she's currently the Teens Dream Ambassador for the Quality Education Dream Hub. And recently we went to this international conference called iEarn, and Linda invited us to attend, so we went together. And Kat made this amazing video where she documented our experience, and we networked with a lot of teens from across the world, as well as their teachers and educators. And so we have a wonderful video to showcase. Yeah. Feel empowered as a woman. entire experience was truly beautiful to see so many different youth gathering and really connecting on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And so in this Dream Hub, we focus in on quality education. And teachers are really critical to our effort. And this conference helped us connect with so many different educators across the world. And last year's winner, William Boucher from Paris, and our Teens Dream ambassador for our Zero Hunger Dream Hub made this video that we'd also like to share. Share the importance of teaching the SDGs and how Teens Dream has helped them through this process. Carrie has been assigning the contest from her class in Los Angeles for a few years now and has 2 winners here from her class. And Andrea assigned the Teens Dream video competition to her class this past year, and Victor was a winner. So Andrea and Carrie, we'd love for you to speak for 1 minute each.
18 years ago, when I was going through the teacher preparation program, if you would have asked me why I wanted to become a teacher, I would have told you that I want to inspire. Well, 18 years later, if you ask me now, you've been a teacher for 18 years, why are you still a teacher? I would tell you that my students inspire me. I found this competition 3 years ago. I aligned really well with the film unit that I was teaching my students. I believe completely in project-based learning, so when they do an assignment, it's greater than just turning it into their teacher. Instead, by submitting to a competition, there's an elevated feeling of excellence, and I believe that it helps students strive to reach a broader audience, especially through this competition. I'm staying with some really wonderful, generous hosts. And when I met the daughter, who was one of the speakers today, Bonnie, I asked her how she got involved in the Teen Dream competition. And she's like, oh, well, my parents know Linda, which is great. But also, I submitted in 2014. And I looked at her, because she's still so young, and I thought, 2014, she must have been 12. And then I thought, and I asked her right away, I asked her, wait a minute, did you do that one film that had you wearing different faces? And she said, oh yeah, you've seen my video. And I thought, you know what would be great is if on my own campus, my students could say that about each other's video. Maybe they don't know everybody, but if they could say, wow, you created an amazing video on mental illness. Or, you know, I saw your video in that one assembly that we had. You created an amazing video on cleaning up the oceans. What a great campus we would be on. I really believe in the Teens Dream competition. Being here really helps me understand our mission, and I want to thank you for creating such an amazing opportunity for our youth. Thank you.
Good afternoon. We know that the global goals are 17 goals from the United Nations in 2015. Before that, they had the Millennial Development Goals. And one thing they learned from that process was that they needed to tell more people about the goals so they could gain more attention. And so a teacher got involved and said, we need to teach about this. And I'm really glad that Teen Dream moved into talking about the Sustainable Development Goals, because it creates this common language for young people, for all people, to use when talking about solving problems. Because if you go into a classroom and you say, what problems would you solve if you could, you're going to come up with a lot of ideas and a lot of passion. And there's kids all over the world trying to solve these problems. But Teens Dream brings all the children from around the world, all the students from around the world, to get together to solve these problems together. And we've been really lucky at Dominion High School to have an International Youth Summit. And so we've seen how powerful that can be, bringing kids physically together to solve these problems. But I think virtually with Teen Stream, we're going to see that magnified. So as a teacher, we really love how the Sustainable Development Goals create this authentic curriculum, and it's sustained inquiry. And these are issues that the students are going to be working with for life. So I know that one day Victor is going to solve corruption through computer science somehow. But this is going to be something that I know he's going to follow for the rest of his life to think about. And I know all these young people are the same. They're going to be thinking about how can we solve these goals. And that just gives me really great faith in our future, that Teen Stream is part of the movement that's going to help make our world a better place. So thank you.
Okay, so up next, we'd like Elizabeth to come up and speak about her experience.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Barker, and I go to Citadel Friends School in DC. I joined Teen Dream as a co-creator last year. And a few months ago, I was able to go to a conference at the United Nations in New York with Bonnie, Sophia, and Faith to learn more about the Sustainable Development Goals. This year, I earned community service hours for my work with Teen Stream, which included co-leading the judging process for the competition with Dawn Gangloff. Our co-creators met in January to watch all 125 video submissions and broke into judging teams for the 3 different categories: personal, community, and global. We judged the videos based on creativity, message clarity and relevance, motivation, inspiration, articulation of how the dream can be achieved, relevance to the Sustainable Development Goals, and production quality. Hopefully with your help and many others, next year we will have even more submissions and students participate. And now Zach is going to speak about the winners.
Hi, my name is Zach Madge, and I'm pleased to begin the introductions for the winners of Teen Dream. As was stated, we received 125 videos and through a lot of work narrowed them down to our 9 winners. We are honoring these 9 people today, and after showing each of their videos, we will hear from them and their mentors if they're here. We encourage you to be especially attentive to your table's winner's presentation, as afterwards we're going to have short table conversations for roughly 10 minutes about their dreams. Now, let's begin. We're going to start with our winner who traveled the farthest, Pramudito, Did as it's called, from Indonesia. Like many of our contestants, Didit is an aspiring filmmaker, and his dream is to address poverty in his country of Indonesia through education. You can read about his solutions to these challenges in his blog on our Teen Dream website. We hope Didit will soon be contributing to our new Dream Hub on poverty. Without further ado, here's Didit's winning video.
My name is Ramudito, and this is my dream. My country is Indonesia, and we have a lot of people. 215 million to be exact. But the problem with that is, a lot of these people aren't educated. Indonesia is number 2 on countries with the most high school dropouts. 60%. Why? There's a lot of reasons why, but mainly because the parents couldn't afford it. The problem with this is, finding a job is hard if you don't have a high school diploma. If you're lucky, you can be a dishwasher, a farm worker, a waiter, or a cashier. But most of high school dropouts in my country are unemployed or have a job with low salary. And the worst part is, the kids have to suffer. They can't go to school because their parents can't afford it, so the kids will also be uneducated. So this is a loop, and my dream is to break this loop. I want all the kids in my country to have free education, so they can get their high school diploma and get a better job. This is my dream. Thank you.
Students mentor from the World Bank, Manuela Denucio Gonzalez, whom we met yesterday, couldn't join us. So now it's Didit's turn to speak.
Hello. My name is Pramudito. I'm 17. I'm from Jakarta, Indonesia. Before I start, I want to say that Indonesia is not a poor country. There's just a lot of poverty in it. And so why is there a lot of poverty? Because I think one of the reasons is because the people can't get a decent paying job because they didn't finish high school. So what I want to do, my dream is to help these people like in their 20s or 30s that are in their prime to work but can't get a job because they didn't finish high school. So my step to do that is to make a free night school to help the people that want to get their high school diploma equivalent, and I want to make a free skill school that teach people the soft skill you need to get a decent paying job, like IT skills, writing skills, organization skills, and etc. So, oh yeah, by the way, thanks for Teens Dream for flying me out to Washington.
Thank you, Didit. Now here's Faith to introduce our second winner.
Hi, I'm Faith. I go to School Without Walls in Washington, D.C., and I'm here to introduce Ryan Chalmers from California. And Ryan's dream is to break the stigma around mental health, just globally. And today here with us also is her mentor Gustavo, from the National Alliance on Mental Health. So,
She's so rude.
She wears way too much makeup. She tries way too hard.
She's so deep.
She looks like she hasn't slept in 100 years. She gained weight.
Are you okay?
I don't understand how every day you come in with those filthy shoes, bringing in your dirt and the mud in my classroom. That's what I don't understand, okay?
5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi. No, don't talk to me. Hey, how are you? Where have you been? You're good. Yeah, I'm sick. Oh my gosh, we've been worried so much.
If you notice someone who may be suffering, speak up and try to help them. If you believe he may have a mental illness, don't be afraid to go to someone for help or even a psychologist. In our communities, we can make a difference and help yourself or others with better mental health and well-being. It won't be easy to get rid of, but it can bring hope. Just be patient. You are not alone.
I'd like to ask Ryan and each speak for a minute on why this issue is important, what they can do or slash do to address it, and what we can do.
Hi. So I'd like to talk about first why business. So in my last year of middle school, I had a friend who constantly missed days and eventually dropped out. For those who did not understand her reasoning, they would claim that she was crazy, wanted attention, and even asked if she died. When my teacher, Miss Milton, assigned us to participate in this video competition, I found it the perfect opportunity to bring some awareness of mental health and to remove the stigma surrounding her and others who may experience similar things. This project opened my eyes to the ability of addressing an issue through creative film. It also put me in a position to bring even more awareness by connecting me with my mentor, Gustavo Guerrero, with the National Alliance of Mental Illness, with whom I would like to collaborate with further on ideas that will increase awareness in my school and community. Like for example, we have discussed about maybe even having assemblies in my community about mental awareness, and also we were talking about certain grants for psychology, so we hope we can make that happen. This also has made me want to continue informing people who are in this situation that it is okay and that you are not alone, but also to other people in general that this topic is serious and should not be diminished in importance. I'd like to thank Teens Dream for inspiring me to also continue and pursue a career of storytelling and filmmaking, and for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you guys today.
Thank you, Ryan. Can everyone hear me? Fantastic. So, my name is Gustavo Guerrero, and I'm a development coordinator at the National Alliance on Mental Illness. For those of you who don't know what that is, we are the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization. We have affiliates at the state and local level, as well as our national office. I'm here today because I think mental health is important. I work there at the organization. It's a conversation that's worth having at every level of life, and I'm really proud that Ryan has taken it upon herself to raise awareness at her school and in her community, because everyone knows someone who has been affected by mental health, whether you're aware of it or not. And I'm really thankful that Global CoLab and the Teen Dream program has connected me with Ryan so I can help mentor her in her future efforts to raise awareness about mental health in her school and community. I'm looking forward to continuing that conversation and collaborating with Teen Dream for the Dream Hub about mental health in the future, and look forward to seeing the stigma around mental health get broken by students like Ryan in the future. Thank you.
So up next we have Sophia to introduce the next video and the next one.
Hello everyone, I am Sophia and I attend the Academy of Health Sciences at Prince George's Community College. I'm going to introduce Porter Christensen from Utah, who can't be with us today. But his dream is storytelling, and he's also an aspiring writer and actor. His mentor is Aldo Bello with Mind and Media, who also can't join us today. Both wanted to, but had big conflicts. I'm going to ask Pablo Guarneros, a Teen Dream submitter originally from Mexico, but now going to school in San Francisco, who is also my co-teen ambassador on the Arts Hub, to speak with our Arts Hub mentor, Almula Camdarelli, on the importance of arts. They'll speak right after Porter's video.
Let's talk about dreams. When most people have a dream or an ambition that they want to see happen, they think really large scale. They want the world to have no poverty. They want the world to avoid all judgment. They want us to accept each other for who we are no matter what. And those are great. Don't get me wrong. Those are superb goals and ambitions. But you can't really control those things a whole lot. You have to start somewhere small. You have to start with a personal dream. My personal dream is to be a storyteller. We all hear stories every day. We watch stories. We see them in the news. Everything around us are stories, and we're constantly hearing them and participating in them. The storytelling I'd like to participate in is filmmaking. Throughout the years, filmmaking has become really big. It's become one of the most influential things. There's videos on the news, like I said, and social media and everything, and we constantly see them, we can hear them. The reason I want to be a filmmaker in the future is so I can influence future generations. Everybody loves storytelling and they love hearing stories, and so if I can make good stories that have a purpose and have meaning that people will hear and listen to, then I can use messages that I want to share with others through those and hopefully influence people on how they think and how they act and how they treat each other. If I can start to complete my personal dream, then hopefully I can get some influence and help others to see their dreams and see their passions come true. The great thing about dreams is they don't just come true. You have to work for it. You have to put in effort. You have to do something for it to come. And so there's that sense of satisfaction when you are able to see your dream become reality. So if we have these big dreams, these big, large-scale dreams about the world, about our communities, about relationships, we really need to start small and have our own personal dreams. And through that, build up so we can accomplish great things. The end.
So I'm Pablo, I'm part of the Arts Hub and is a MUA art mentor.
Thank you, Pablo. I'd like everyone to ask themselves, what is arts? Is it one hobby that you picked one day and you never had time to work on? Or maybe it's scribbles and doodles that you used to do when you were in kindergarten and you had to give up on it as you grew older? Or is it that the world you find idealists go into with their minds of abstraction and then never escaping from? We tell ourselves, arts, they don't belong in the real world. They don't belong in the world of law, medicine, science, banking, politics, poverty. We tell ourselves it's merely an escape from the seriousness of everyday life.
But what if we approach art as something more, as a way to process in, filter, explore all the subtle colors of life? Because in a world of clashing perspectives, we need to engage with our surroundings, understand all those unfamiliar others. So think of art as a tool. Think of the paintbrush or the microphone or the ballerina slippers as weapons to fight the apathy catapulting us into oblivion, into accepting the status quo, the way things are. So don't give up on art, because art is not giving up on its intention to understand, communicate, and change this human ecosystem.
Okay, next up we have Elizabeth introducing our next one.
Okay, so I will be introducing Maria Dragoi, who's here with her father from Romania today. Maria's dream is to improve education by focusing on project-based learning. Maria is also an aspiring filmmaker and is passionate about making her peers become more interested in Romanian culture through art. As Kira mentioned before, Maria's mentor, Christine Coleman, is here today and is also working with the CoLab and the Smithsonian on our environmental project. Now we will show Maria's film.
What if children could learn core subjects through culture? If mathematics could be taught through cooking Chinese food and psychology through going to theater? Unfortunately, it sounds like an utopia, and these methods may be seen as unproductive and time-wasting. But let us, the students, decide. What makes a good educational system? And while I keep saying that culture is vital in this, non-formal education is more promoted by NGOs recently, and this is, I guarantee you, the key to learning profoundly. This is not to say that the fundamental concepts in learning must be eliminated, but they must be adapted to these times. How's that? Let's create now a school. Let's imagine it. That could meet the conditions I stated before. The first class in the morning is the mathematics one. It involves playing Monopoly while learning fractions. Then we have English literature, and a renowned writer comes to teach children creative writing while making constant references to old literature. Chemistry class is next, and the children are ready to learn about molecules while watching an award-winner short documentary, followed by a discussion about film industry and an assignment to make a short film with chemical experiments, which is due to next week. History class comes the last, and the kids are going to a classical music concert, and then do some debriefing on the historic period from there. Please, let me believe this could happen. No. Sorry there, I said that. I will. I really will make this happen.
Okay, so Maria, could you and Catherine please come up to, sorry, Christine, please come up to speak about your dream and what you hope to achieve.
Hello everyone, I'm so excited. My name is Maria Dragoi and I'm from Romania. I'm 19 years old and I'm so honored to be here with you. I hope not to cry by the end of this, so I'll be quick just to prevent the tears from falling. My dream is having quality education everywhere. And many people think that it's crazy, but I have the luck of being surrounded here by people who believe in this dream. And this is my amazing mentor, Christine, who helped me to move from idealism to practicality. It's Linda, it's Julie, and these extraordinary teams that are present here. And just to, exercise my Oscar speech, I want to thank my family. For helping me and inspiring me, and also the Global Collab Network. And I thank you so much. Christine?
Can you hear me okay here? All right, Maria, inspiring, right? Because I'm a teacher, thank you, and I do need all the help I can get. And I need people, students like Maria here, to continue to inspire, to keep the fires going for education, right? Because I'm not just a teacher, I'm a parent, I'm a friend, I'm a professional, right? I'm a scientist, and we all need these things that Maria is helping us to be inspiring. She took 2 minutes, and in those 2 amazing minutes, she was able to remind us that we need to have these conversations, right? We need to listen to each other, whether we are parents, whether we are friends, whether we are in the classroom, in our jobs, or whatever it is. So listening, working together, making things happen, and Maria is doing that. Yay.
Okay, so next up, I'm going to introduce our winner from Virginia, our closest winner. It's Victor Corja, and his dream was to address corruption in his family's home country of Moldova, which is about creating stronger institutions. Victor and his mentor, Harriet, talk. But first we want to announce that we are working on creating a stronger institution dream hub. And we'd love some engagement from everyone once that gets started. Victor?
Hi, my name is Victor. I live not very far away from here, but I was born in Moldova, which is a very small country in Europe. And I lived there for almost 8 years, and half of my family is still living there. So I speak to them over Skype almost every week, and we always discuss the problems that they're facing, the fluctuating prices, the government representatives that don't have any further agenda than getting money into their own pockets. And this really struck me as one of the major problems that I want to help solve when my teacher gave us an assignment to do the Teen Stream contest. So I am a cybersecurity major at George Mason University, and so my dream isn't to fight corruption by protesting. I want to help secure the money of citizens from being taken by politicians who will not then use it to help those citizens, but only to help themselves. So I spoke to Harriet the other day, who was a senior information officer at the World Bank, and he helped me realize that there are many ways that everybody can choose to solve the problems that they want to solve. So my dream further is to help protect institutions and to help protect the interests of citizens in the face of corrupt politicians.
It was my privilege to talk to him, who is going to be soon my colleague, I guess, in the field of cybersecurity. So actually, there was a nice gathering with him at the Turkish Coffee at Tyson's Center, and over a coffee we talk about his career goals. He has a very clear, plan for the future. That's impressive, given his young age. He's determined to work on using technology to bring better cybersecurity and implement stronger privacy in governments or in institutions. So this is something that we will probably talk over the upcoming months and maybe, if he wants, maybe years, as a sounding board what he can do in this field. And if I'm going to be helpful for his career, I'll be more than happy. So it was nice to talk.
Okay, and we have another winner who's Evie's introducing. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Evie Weinstock, and I go to Civil Friends School here in DC. I'd like to introduce CJ King from Connecticut, whose dream is that all people will be treated equally, specifically those in the LGBTQ community. We've introduced CJ to his mentors at SMYAL, Rebecca York and Adelphi Johnson. Unfortunately, they were not able to make this celebration, but they have sent a statement that I'll ask Leslie Allen to read. We're going to show this.
Reject me and leave me for dust.
They think it's a choice to be gay. Maybe that's why they tried baptizing me in olive oil while praying for me to be someone I'm not. Why am I this way?
Why me?
Why do they love to see me hurt? In school it makes me feel safe, but in reality it only makes me feel more justice.
Why do I feel like I'm the only one who goes through this pain and suffering?
But you're not. There are millions of LGBT youth that face this problem every day. You are you, and you are the only person who could be you. One day you will have a happy life. You are strong, you are brave, you are you.
This happens all over the world. Speak up and find someone that accepts you for who you are. You are not the good. You are not true. You're beautiful. For those who are not LGBT, know that you are also loved. Know that every day situations like this happen. Together we will fight for peace, love, and equality for all until inequality is reduced for all.
up and speak for a minute on this issue. And Leslie, do you mind coming up and reading the statement?
Hi everyone, my name is CJ. I'm from West Haven, Connecticut, and I go to Engineering Science University Magnet School. The video that you just saw is very personal to me. I know a lot of friends, I know a lot of people who experience similar situations. I was really grateful to have the opportunity to participate in Teens Dream and express my personal ideas and how much people need to know about specific situations like these that occur all across the world. I was really grateful to also collaborate with Smile and talk about specific issues within the LGBTQIA community. I thought it was really important.
Hi, my name is Leslie Allen, and I really loved that video, and I really think CJ has an amazing message. It's a bit of a personal message for me and my husband, as our older son is gay, and I think that CJ is really lucky, and my son is really lucky, and we are really lucky because there are so many people who do not have respect and equal treatment, and so many kids whose parents do not treat them as they need to be treated, as they should be treated. So I think that was a great film, and so I will go ahead and read the letter that Smile sent, and Smile stands for Supporting and Mentoring Youth Advocates and Leaders. So it says, greetings. Smile is excited to be collaborating with the Global Collab Network to support Cyril King's Teens Dream. Cyril's video is a powerful testament to the importance of community for LGBTQ youth. The emphasis, youth are you, places on speaking up and building a supportive community to combat feelings of isolation speaks directly to Smile's mission. Founded in 1984, Smile is dedicated to supporting and empowering LGBTQ youth throughout the DC metropolitan region. Our goal is to connect youth with a supportive community of like-minded individuals and provide them with the resources that they need to thrive. We reach youth through after-school programming, youth leadership initiatives, and our transitional housing program. We are excited to work with Cyril as he continues his advocacy for the widespread acceptance of LGBTQ youth.
Okay, so next up, we are going to have Emma present our next winner.
Alright, hi everyone. I'd like to introduce Mara Turin and Laia Font. They're from Barcelona, Spain, and are both interested in science. Specifically, Mara's interested in ecology and Laia in health. The dream is that there's people in Spain will focus more on reducing their consumption of wrapping paper along with other items during Christmas time. This way their country will prevent contributing waste in their environment. We have been able to connect them with the Plastic Pollution Coalition, which are very interesting, who introduced us to Earth Day Network Sebastian Rosemont as their mentor. So now we're going to see their film.
Who doesn't like Christmas? I mean, it's a nice time where there aren't any worries and all is happiness and joy. But we have to keep in mind that we have been changing this tradition since its origins. Unfortunately, it has been going downhill. Nowadays, there are several issues which not only affect us, but also are harmful to the environment.
The first main issue is the light pollution. In Christmas days, the light consumption rockets in the houses and the streets of all Spain. Everybody turn on the Christmas lights 1 or 2 months before the 25th of December. that is bad for the human, the vegetal, and the animal health.
Moreover, the lights we are used to buying are usually LEDs, and this kind of lighting tend to burn out. That's why a lot of people buy new lights every year, which is a problem because they don't even try to fix them.
The second main issue is that as early as September, shops, TV commercials, and webs start to put up colorful propaganda to make us want to buy Christmas-related gifts. This is related to the third main issue. Especially in these holidays, we spend money with a lot of things we don't really need, knowing that, in our country, most of the people are in recession. And with the presents we receive, we should try to recycle the wrappings for the next year to avoid cutting off more trees. In conclusion, we have to stop tricking ourselves.
Christmas is a time to gather all the family together, not to buy hundreds of useless presents.
So now we're going to have Mara and Laya take a minute or two to discuss their dream with their mentor, Sebastian.
And speak into the mic.
Hello everybody, we're Laya and Mar, as Sam said, and we're from Catalonia, a country next to Spain. As you just see, we made a video about Christmas issues, and we came up with this idea last year at Christmas time, when we realized that the lights were turned on very soon, like 3 months before the 25th of December, and everybody was going shopping to buy mainly useless presents. That's why we realized that our society needs a change, and we looked up for more information to make this video.
Hi, I'm Laya. In our homes, we recycle the wrappings and we don't buy things that we don't need. Christmas is a time to stay with family. We would like that all people realize what in Christmas time is important.
Hello everyone, I'm Sebastian. I work with Earth Day Network, and our mission is to broaden, diversify, educate, and activate the environmental movement. And we really need to start to shift the way we think about the environment, shift the narrative, and introduce a new consciousness about how we interact with the world and how we use our resources. And that is why it was such a privilege to spend the morning yesterday with Mar and Laya, who are really, they are the next generation of environmental leaders, and there are others here in this room. And they really show us that it starts by thinking about our everyday lives, in our families, in our communities, and how just shifting our thinking, what our values are. It's spending time with our family or at the holidays, not buying useless presents. So it starts there. Engaging with others is how we make a real difference. And these two young women are, well, they're starting it, they're making it happen, and they will go on to do great things, I'm sure.
Okay, and next up we have Bonnie introducing yet another winner.
Hi. So unfortunately, our winner, Jonathan Yun from Connecticut, was unable to join us, but we will be watching his video and honoring his dream of cleaning up our oceans. So finally, our grand prize winner, Jacqueline Mendoza, also goes by Cade, from California. So her dream is to save the environment, particularly life underwater, our oceans. She was inspired by her dad showing her a documentary on plastic in the ocean. Cade is interested in cleaning up beaches to address this issue. She is a freshman in high school, is great at soccer, and likes K-pop music. We have introduced Cade and Jonathan to the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Agency, NOAA. They gave an amazing presentation yesterday at NOAA, led by their mentor, Bruce Morachik, who unfortunately could not join us today. So now we are going to watch both Jonathan and Cade's films and then hear from Cade.
The world is filled with distraction. Entertainment, security, connection. By now, it's become all too easy to forget about the world we live in, about the completely different world most of us don't even think about, the world below water. According to the United Nations, the ocean represents 99% of living space on the planet, yet 40% of it is heavily and increasingly affected by humans, who bring pollution, habitat loss, and ultimately extinction. What exactly are you doing to the ocean, affecting the ocean? According to the National Geographic, taking long showers, using excess electricity, making unhealthy seafood choices, and unknowingly consuming plastic products are big reasons why ocean life are dying by the tens of thousands. I hope you can realize my dream, that by realizing the beauty and immenseness of marine life, you can be environmentally conscious and aware in your everyday life. That in the years to come, the world and Earth will recognize its harm on life below water, and all will take measure, large or small, to advance the well-being of our shared planet.
What we see often is only a fractional part of what it really is. You never know what's there until you just break the surface, and once you do, you'll be surprised. Our rainwater, drinking water, weather, climate, our food, and the oxygen we breathe are provided and regulated by the sea. Oceans make up 3/4 of the Earth, yet only 0.3% of that water is drinkable. Us humans look to the water as it is the largest source of protein. 3 billion people depend on it. Absorbing 30% of the carbon dioxide we produce, oceans buffer the impacts of global warming. 1/2 of the oxygen in the atmosphere is produced by the ocean. The world's oceans, their temperature, chemistry, currents, and life drive global systems that make the Earth habitable for humankind. Water is like the sun. We can't survive without it. Knowing this, we still go out of our way to make solving the problem harder as we continue to overfish, destroy habitat, and produce pollution, damaging our ocean. If we keep this up, by 2100, more than 1/2 of the world's marine species may stand on the brink of extinction. Humanity can thank the ocean for the necessities of life. We live because of it, everything the ocean's done for us. We repay it with pollution, overfishing, ocean acidification, and garbage patches. Spread awareness of the life below. Pick up trash you have in the past. Recycle. Attend environmental cleanups. No water, no life, no blue, no green. Individually, we are one drop. Together, we are an ocean.
Okay, we'd like to congratulate you on being our grand prize winner, and we would like you to come up and actually speak for a minute on why it's important to focus on improving the ocean and what you learned at school. And then we're going to hear from Julia from Plastic Pollution Coalition.
Short. Can you hear me? Okay, to start off, at first, this was just an assignment for my tech class. I only thought of it as an assignment, a grade. I'm that type of person that's like, hey, I gotta get an A. I gotta get an A. So I just started, but every second I took looking into the topic, I just was drawn farther and farther in, encouraged and advised. After countless re-edits, I never imagined to be a winner and be thrown out of my comfort zone, but here I am. I realized my vision of raising awareness of the life below water is still ongoing. However, acts of picking up trash, making sure your trash makes it to the trash can, or just recycling recyclables, or even small acts can cause larger outcomes. If everybody picked up a piece of trash, how much trash would not make it to the ocean? How many marine lives would you have saved? How many deaths would you have prevented? After being exposed to Teen Dream, Linda and her colleagues, my school teacher, Miss Milton, my mentor, education specialist from the NOAA of the NOS, Bruce Moravchik, I don't really know how to say his last name, so sorry. I realized that there are people who are willing to help me in my goal. Because of this, I am able to acquire resources which I can use to spread my goal, and opportunities I can use to help spread my message locally and globally. They have helped nurture my dream and interest of filmmaking, and also encourages me to produce more films and help other people. It all starts with one drop. I am one drop, but together with you, we can make an ocean. Thank you.
Congratulations for being a prize winner. So, no blue, no green is actually a quote from Sylvia Earle, the very notable ocean conservationist. You should see her TED Talk about that. So just to speak about the importance of plastic pollution and ocean conservation, it's omnipresent in our lives. Even today, unfortunately, we're consuming some polystyrene. But really, we have to consider our culture. Is it consumerism or is it conservationism? And so I'm part of the Plastic Pollution Coalition, and we're this member-based organization with 750 organizations around the world. So it makes it clear that this is a transnational issue that we all have a stake in. And so I want to congratulate the two video makers and the winner here for addressing this issue. And let's all consider what our impact is on the ocean, on land, life on land. And also October 18th is the International Day of Action dedicated to reducing plastic consumption. So consider that, and I'll send out an invite about an event. But congratulations, and the reason why youth are so important is because honestly, we're about changing our culture and our values. And even I, when I was 14, made a video and made a TED Talk about something similar. So we have to start young, and I'm super proud of everyone today. So thank you for hosting this, and Linda for inviting me.
Oh, wow. I just want to say, let's give a huge hand to all our winners. And a huge hand to all our submitters, okay? So all our winners and submitters are on the Teen Stream Gallery for this year and the last 4 years. So there's over 400 videos. They're all amazing. So it's a great way to spend your time watching them. So as I said, we're here about honoring not just the winners, but the submitters as well. And we're here to talk about action. So how are we doing that? How are we going to connect with all these submitters? We can't fly them all in and celebrate them. So we've been working the last couple of years to figure out how to launch these virtual rooms that we call dream hubs. And we have put in place, and maybe we can show on the website, the SDGs. Our goal is to have all 17 SDGs in a dream hub, so a dream hub for each of the 17, that will be led by teenagers with adult mentors. And these are rooms where kids come in, teens come in to work on these issues in a collaborative way in their own communities, so they can be from anywhere on the planet as long as they can speak English and have access to the internet. So today we want to give you a couple updates on our Dream Hubs. We have 3 now, and we're going to be highlighting them. We have one on quality education. I don't know if we can show these easily. Quality education, led by Kat Meadows, who would be here today, but she got very sick. She's our ambassador that made that great video from IRNS. And Adri Rosario, a winner last year. and Maria, we're hoping you'll get involved with our quality education, okay? But we also would like anybody here, and particularly the teachers, anyone that's interested in making education more accessible. We have a second Dream Hub focused on zero hunger, led by our winner from last year, William Boucher from Paris. And he's unbelievable. He created the video that you're gonna see that, Sophia, I'm hoping you'll show later. Okay, and then I want to show you one of our more active Dream Hubs. Right now we're working to get the Dream Hubs in place with the leaders and then really work to bring people into the rooms. Our Arts Dream Hub is led by Sophia and Pablo, and they have their adult mentor, Amula, who you met earlier, and I'm gonna ask them each to come up, all three of them, and speak for just a short time on the Arts Hub and what you did last night, which was incredible. They had a showcase for 40 people at Arlington Independent Media on gun violence. No, back, okay.
Okay, so hi there. So at my school, we're taught the power of human societies and how in each human society complex systems there is emergent behavior. What this means is that if you put one intelligent person in the room and you put another one to join them on the project, you don't just get two great minds collaborating on something. Strangely enough, you get a third, if not a fourth person. What this means is that there is power in collaboration. Multiple studies have shown that actually when people collaborate, they're not only more productive, they're also more creative and also more successful. So yes, working at something alone, you can do it faster, but you cannot go further. And here at the Arts Hub, what we want to do is go further.
Just like Pablo said, we are aware of the power of collaboration, but also we are aware and we believe that there in the world, in foreign houses, towns, cities, there is an abundance of passionate voices ready to use art to engage with the society and help fight apathy. And it's because of this abundance from so many walks of life that we have a reason for establishing the Arts Hub. We know as artists, we each have a purpose, but we are stronger together because we have a power not only to reach more audiences or learn from one another, but power to widen perspectives, pull the rug under our feet, and cook a dream bursting with so much color that it cannot be ignored. So our goal for the Arts Hub is really the following. Build a coalition of students from all over the world and empower them through collaborative projects and digital workshops as we engage them with social issues. We know that only then will these artists help their respective communities meet the United Nations SDGs.
The mission is not the only thing that we've brought to the table. Just yesterday, we tangibly demonstrated how we can meet our goals. Through a 2-month collaboration with about a dozen artists from around the world, we launched the first Arts Hub exhibition. Filmed at the Arlington Independent Media Center, the artists responded to the increasing risk of gun violence in American high schools. The art exhibition tackled the UN Sustainable Development Goal of peace and justice to demonstrate the power of arts to explore a topic in hopes of engaging an audience and widening a perspective that challenges, discomforts, and impacts us all. This is only the first for the Arts Hub. There are many more projects and challenges awaiting us, so we want your support. Because just as we believe in the power of collaboration, we believe that everyone is an artist. Because everyone has a way of seeing the world, of fighting apathy and sharing their voice. We just need to practice it on a daily to engage and to strive for something a little bit better. Thank you.
So we announced earlier that we're launching some environmentally related dream hubs with the Smithsonian. And so the Smithsonian has partnered with the Global Collab Network to design 3 or 4 salons, and each salon will create a new dream hub. We hope we'll have a dream hub on plastics, a dream hub on recycling, dream hub on life underwater, dream hub to build up on the zero hunger. So if you're interested in that, we're looking for a community of teams that are passionate about the environment. And there's a fact sheet out in front you can get. Today we're announcing, we have a big announcement, and Amna and Fatima, are you here? Yeah. Okay, come on up. We're unveiling our newest dream hub by sister combo, Amna and Fatima Balul, and their friend Kat Meadows, who, like I said earlier, got sick. But their dream hub is going to focus on gender equality, which is very timely. Can all 2 of you come up and share a few words on what you have created? And this builds on what we've been doing with Bree Mathers of Love the Skin You're In, so I'm super excited about this.
We're really, really excited to be unveiling the newest Dream Hub for gender equality. And this Dream Hub will be centered around encouraging mindfulness and action towards female empowerment through international youth-led clubs and initiatives in order to support the rising generation of women around the world.
Okay, good. So together the 3 of us are combining our visions of promoting mindfulness and action towards female empowerment to develop an international network of youth-led clubs and initiatives for the rising generation of women around the world. So we created IMRA, the International Movement for Resilience, Authenticity, and Activism, a coalition of groups for women. IMRA will encourage youth to actively work towards achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 3 and 5, good health and well-being, and gender equality. IMRA will be the central project of the new Gender Equality Dream Hub, encouraging youth from around the world to begin similar clubs or an IMRA branch after high school. So, thank you. Alright, so moving on, the next activity we have are table talks. So we're going to ask you to take 10 minutes for table talk on what you've heard. We have a team at each table that will lead a discussion with you about the question, what did you find inspiring from the video presentation relating to your table topic? Each table, facilitated by a team co-creator, has a giant post-it note to write down comments, and you have 10 minutes to do this. We may post all the comments for people to look at afterwards, and we'll post them on a blog on our website. And then we'll have you guys come back with just one person from your group, from your table, and share what you discussed, and you'll have 30 seconds to do this.
Penny, this is my mother, Penny.
So every table is going to get a piece of paper and a pen, and you have 10 minutes to talk about your issue at your table, and then we'll have somebody come back and give a short 30-second presentation.
What innovation infrastructure?
I think, are you ready to lead us?
I have no idea. How do they achieve better what is technology? How are you doing? From any ideas to happen? Sure. you have a video.
As it relates to how they relate to innovation.
Like write down, each person to go around and their ideas, and I'm going to get a Sharpie.
Have a pen.
Is this one of the sustainability goals? Innovation is number 11. Is there any detail about what that is?
Okay, so innovation infrastructure, building roads. Like how are we going to achieve roads for everyone? How are we going to get internet to all 7 million people? And we want to have kind of like a discussion of how we're going to do it. Possible. How it's very, very challenging. So I have a few things that I'm going to write down. How are you going to build roads throughout the entire world? How are you going to I'm still serving roads. Among everyone. For all of us, and is this just your personal, like, how I want to do this?
Why don't we just jump in? First of all, the taxes that we set aside for improvements have been
That's fine.
years and years and years. It should be related to responsibility and automatically increasing. The one that we're not willing to spend money to do this. Cheated. I want you to look at the definition of the sustainability goal itself. So it's really just as you said, it's infrastructure. So investing in infrastructure, innovation, vision for economic growth and development. Over half of your new generations now living in cities never know York. Renewable energy is coming in as or the new industries and information and communication technological progress. That is, there's a significant portion of the world that's not connected. It doesn't have infrastructure.
That's how you're going to question it. You see it just like that.
I think what you're seeing or improving so improving growth in areas and components of the world that are the idea is that's the, I think the question is answer there. This is we're talking about connectivity, right? The idea is every connectivity or the ability for remote communicate or store banking, etc. So encouraging that is the goal, and the asking how we can encourage that. All issues are very important, I think, and starting small. Take a city. church for lack of transportation. And so businesses, community organizations, residents in neighborhoods that are neglected. So you might get two lights are open. Local level, then you put together these videos and you say, how long are we going to have this bridge that's fallen down to everybody's affected by lack of transportation, or whatever the particular thing is missing. Barcelona, last Christmas, I wrapped up all my stuff and unwrapped it and saved it. Show what that was for me.
So, examples of achieving steps, examples of steps.
Yeah, that's going to just demonstrate that like a lot of the goal is to increase economic through innovation. You got to lower it down. Very first. I think it's great. So, but if the specific one is to help improve well, that's their thing. That is their goal. So So infrastructure is communication. So that's the point. That is.
Okay, you need to wrap it up. You have 1 minute and then present.
Because you have a lot of times
I'm not sure I understand. You know that's my idea.
No, I like the last one.
I've got notes. People who are with people who are most affected. Okay. I that younger people. I'll give you an example. From the board of the community federal school. They had projects and they go out and they were given a task. They spent a lot of time figuring out whether it was about food, it was about what kind of food is best for you. They did research, they did projects, they went out and they got a feel for what it was. And then they go home, what do they do? The ones that are not so busy in jobs are not paying attention. You've got to listen to them. And you do.
Okay, so we're actually going to come back together real quick.
That possibility of that resource.
Okay, we're going to come back together and we're going to discuss each one of the group's ideas and some of the solutions to the problem they were given. Hey guys, we're going to come back together. So we need each group to pick a representative to talk about their solutions on the paper, and they're going to come up here, and for 30 seconds, they're going to discuss their solutions. So we're going to start with group number 1, who's going to send up their representative.
We're 10, so we
All right, Zach. Okay, let's hear it for Zach. Okay.
Alright, so my group did it, and we talked about his issue of poverty, and we had a lot of interesting discussion in there. We talked about Didit's idea that Indonesia actually being somewhat wealthy, but having poverty. And then we also brought up down here that you can see that one of the people at our table remarked that Indonesia's government is actually celebrating the fact that it's
less than 10% poor, but what does the government define as poor? And then if you use the UN standards for poor, it's actually almost 1/3 of the population would be defined as poor. So what are you defining as poor in different countries? And then we talked about poverty in combination with education and work, just as Didit was talking about, and he's actually combining goals, different goals, number 1, number 4, and number 8, quality education and good health and well-being. So he's incorporating many goals. And we talked also about his night school program that he had put up, that he had introduced, and we said that instead of there is a night school program in Indonesia, but he's talking about truly making it free and focusing on soft skills and technical skills. But we were also talking about you giving more profitable skills that will immediately benefit people, high school dropouts. And then finally we were talking about more giant franchises putting smaller businesses out of work and how that contributes to poverty, and getting more teens involved. How Didit would get some of his friends involved and create a wider base on this issue.
And next up we have group 2. We need a representative. Or 2 representatives. Great. 30 seconds.
So mental health, starting to talk about it is important in your teen years rather than adult years, because mental health issues usually start to happen before 20 years old. Also, once you go from the middle school to high school transition, that's when your stress levels are high and when things can start happening, and that's when they have early detections of mental health issues.
So we talked about a lot of interesting points at our table, like what triggers mental health, and like especially in teen years, the emotional stress that a lot of teens go through. And basically the point that we concluded on is that one way, or the best way actually, of preventing stigma around mental health is just education. Like really, there's nothing else you can do to prevent ignorance, other than educating people on different mental health issues and what's appropriate to say, and yeah.
Okay, and next up we have group 3. You guys group 3? Great. Oh, and also you should say the name of your SDG before steps, even though they're talking.
Okay, so we were the arts, we don't have any SCG, but we do. Oh, we do. It's partnership. Okay, great. So, okay. What we discussed mostly was that it was great, but we might feel at times that all these videos that they're overwhelming us with, information problems that we want to tackle. So what we wanted to see mostly was to really focus and to do small events where we tackle sub problems of those larger issues. So the solutions themselves and the problems themselves can become really tractable. And that was one thing. And then the other that we were focusing on was on how the power of even smaller kids and teenagers have the power to say Mom and Dad, wear that seatbelt. They also have the power to say and to bring attention to the fact that everyone has the power, what we said, 5 years old, 5-year-old people have the power to say, hey, don't use plastic, and the parents would be okay.
Okay, and next up we need a representative from group 4.
Hi again. Okay, so as you can see, we had a little bit of fun. And this is the portrait of what quality education should look like, with a little bit of mustache right there. Curly hair. And the curly hair represents thinking out of the box. the mustache is engagement, the nose might be that we need a wake-up call, and this is what all of the videos have done, a wake-up call. We have, the idea that every student is different, that could be the math. Service learning, applying the knowledge we learn, and special education. This is like a resume, and we thank you all for your attention.
Okay, and table 5.
We're going to keep all of these, so make sure we get your papers.
So my SDG was peace, justice, and strong institutions. But before that, we talked for a bit about how to increase the number of people involved in Teen Stream. And that was to connect with adults who can influence teens to join this. So especially people who are leaders at public school systems. And then after that, we talked about the SDG itself and how to stop or minimize corruption. And so the main thing we talked about was to enforce transparency at every level for all kinds of politicians and government institutions, to use the media and celebrity stars to sort of spread the word, because most people care more about their opinions than that of news reporters, to introduce rules at all levels of institutions, because there's corruption in the police services at every level rather than just at the highest political level, and to hold politicians and others accountable by creating harsher consequences, because currently there are sort of different standards for politicians than there are for commoners, and to create international standards, because in a lot of ways countries feel like they're more responsible when they are being overlooked by, when they're oversight by international organizations.
Okay, and up next we have group number 6.
Okay, so some of the things that we talked about was how to reduce inequality in LGBTQIA communities. So one of the main things that we talked about is education. So education through administration, teachers, and students. One of the things that happens within my community are school GSAs. So that's an allowance of education to people who are LGBTQIA and also people who are allies as well. Not only just education based off of what is a GSA or what is the LGBTQIA community, but also sexual education as well, because that's very important toward the LGBTQIA community. We talked about support networks, so how to build a community through support networks in the LGBTQIA community. I know there's a lot of organizations that you can collaborate with to reduce inequality, specifically with issues that happen, such as homelessness, discrimination, injustice. And then we talked, specifically within my community, we talked about the collaboration with specific universities, university GSAs, that we can have representatives talk to us about specific problems and their personal experience and specific topics as well.
Okay, and we need a representative from table 7, which is the responsible consumption. We also have table number 8, pick a representative now, so we don't have to wait.
Okay, am I, like, can you hear me through the mic? Hello? Okay, so we were talking about environment. So some of the things we're just kind of talking about is like reusing and kind of avoiding materialism, which I think is, or which we think is very common in kind of today's world, and how we kind of look for the short-term solutions of just buying something if something breaks, such as like the Christmas lights, instead of just fixing it, which is really just like a smarter thing to do. And one of these, another way we were talking about like preventing, just like producing all these like things that we don't really need, is maybe making better quality things so that they don't break as fast. And then this also kind of ties into like, we talked a little about like fast fashion and how like the new trends and stuff, and how we always want to listen to them. Also ties in with consumerism. And then we talked about energy consumption when turning on Christmas lights early. So we're talking about responsible consumption, responsible celebration, not like overusing, or like kind of like not using Christmas lights early, and kind of tying in with we were talking about like the propaganda of like now in society it's like normal to like have your Christmas lights on early and like have all these decorations, and maybe we really don't need them because it's, the holidays are about like spending time with family. And then we also just briefly talked about like it's called Overshoot Day, which is like Earth's consumption of energy and resources. So like annually when we hit a certain day when we've used up all of our resources for the year, like when it doesn't become sustainable. So.
I'm going to have all of the tables sent up representative so we can just queue and try to take close to 30 seconds as possible because we're starting with our time. I have I think from 9 and 10 come up.
So we were ocean, life underwater. So we talked a lot about starting young and educating kids about recycling young, because kids go home and they tell their parents these things, and parents learn from the kid. We also talked about how to meet within your communities, especially with beach cleanups and stuff like that, just organizing small things within your community, because every little thing really, really counts. We also talked about including recycling cans on the streets, because often you see only trash cans, and then we talked about how there's a fee in your water bill and your taxes, and so it's important to show people what your taxes are paying for, because there are a lot of programs now that go to filtering trash out of the water that goes back into the oceans and stuff. So it's important to show people that that's what your money is going towards.
And then we also talked about avoiding new products with microbeads, because microbeads are tiny plastics that we cannot see. They're so small. 8 billion go down the drain each day. And then little fishes eat those, and it comes back at us and it affects us. And one bead after obtaining organic pollutants is 1 million times more toxic than the water around it. We're putting that in our bodies.
Up next we need tip number 9, which is gender equality.
So for the Gender Equality Dream Hub, we focus in on the Center project, which is called IMRA, and that is a female empowerment organization. That's sort of like a network of organizations that will take place in high schools as well as in colleges. We started one at William & Mary. My sister started one at Thomas Edison High School, and there will be one at George Washington University in the works right now. And what we first discussed was that the Female Empowerment Organization, IMRA, really emphasizes transcending cultural, political, ethnic backgrounds, and really focusing in on connecting on the basis and uniting on the basis of self-empowerment, on the basis of female empowerment, and really discovering our innate greatness and enhancing our mental health, spiritual health, even physical health. So that's one of the main focuses, and we have activities such as Sisters Discuss, where girls get together and discuss prevalent themes of difficulty in life that girls or females often tend to repress within themselves, and just normalizing these hardships and really normalizing them in order to make it very just comfortable for girls to go through these and know that they're not alone. Also, IMRA is individualized based on specific female community needs. So, for example, we're partnering with a school in Ghana, and their topic really, their focus is gender violence. So they're focusing in on having professionals come to female schools, talk about ways to mitigate gender violence and cope with this issue. And in the U.S., the schools that we're starting the program in, we're focusing in on spiritual health. So that's sort of just the project that we're beginning, and that's ultimately working towards gender equality.
Great, and then our last table, which is innovation and infrastructure, number 10.
Well, infrastructure, that's a big term. What does it all include? Well, we spent some time thinking about how big this is, so what we tried to do was to small it down a little bit and make it more specific. And this whole process is a matter of starting small and growing. So, from the beginning, we're going to talk about roads as an example, right? Taxes haven't increased with the cost of living, right? For a long time, that's why we're not building stuff. So we got to think about finances. That's important. Well, how do you get to that? Well, first of all, you have to demonstrate that this is important to do. So you get to finances later. But that's one of the things that we know that we have to do at some point. We have to build communities. That is to say, we have to start leaving no one out of the process. So we have to know where the worst problems are. Some neighborhoods are ignored as if they didn't exist. So we got to concentrate on neighborhoods where the need is the most. Then we have to help those who are worst served. That's what the problem is. Because if you don't have a road to get to your job, you're not going to go to that job, right? So some of these things are obvious to people, but you have to remind them of them. So we have to help people who are powerless, that is politically powerless. And we know that people can be organized. Everyone has to have a voice if this thing is going to work. We have to bank good projects because it takes time to do that. So much for that. Microfinancing has helped over a period of time. We know about those projects. They do work, and they work all over the world. We have to share successes. We have to prove to people that this kind of stuff can be done. If it can be done someplace else, it can be done in our neighborhood. We start small and make things attainable. We give these examples. And we start at the community level where people are most effective, who have the most to gain from this project and the most to lose if they're not getting this project.
You're hired.
Start with kids. I'll stop in just 1 second. Start with, okay, 1 second. Vote. And put propositions on the ballot that get these things done.
Wow. We're going to hire that man. Okay, so Sophia. I think. Sophia, where are you? There you are. Oh. Okay, come on up.
Finally, to kick off next year's competition, which will be our 5th year, I wrote this song and asked our grand prize winner of 2015-16 JO to rap it, and William from Paris, he created an animation. So this actually shows the power of Teen Stream, a collaboration from DC to London and Paris. We submitted this into the Indie Starbucks competition last year, and we won $2,500. We submitted it this past month again with 8 other collab promo videos to a new indie challenge, and we once again won, and we won $1,000. So here's the collaboration.
man, we're trying to make a change. Gonna start a revolution and we're on the first page. We don't care about your age, we don't care about your race. We're just trying to strive for greatness, you can't put us in a cage. Make the world a better place with the things we do or say. I'm not talking about tomorrow, man, let's make a start today. With the future of today, and we're gonna pave a way. If you're with Teens Dream, say hey. It could be something personal you've wanted to achieve. You can focus on communities or have a global dream. Yeah, the world's going crazy and it's obvious to see, but know that anything is possible, you just need to believe. So we're here with Teens Dream and we're gonna make a change. Gonna start a revolution and we're on the first page. Here with Teens Dream and we're gonna make a change. Gonna start a revolution and we're on the first page. Here with Teens Dream and we're gonna make a change. Here with Teens Dream and we're gonna make a change. Here with Teens Dream and we're gonna make a change. I'm not talking about tomorrow, man, let's make a change today. Yeah.
And up next is our board member, Julie Wood.
All right, we're closing this down. But before we do, one of the things I think that's pretty obvious from everything we've seen today is that dreams are powerful things. And dreams are really hopes, right? They're the things that we look to say, these are the things we want in the future. This is what we want to work toward. And without those dreams, all of the hard work that people in this room are doing, and all these young people in this room, and all these young people around the world who've been touched by this contest the last 4 years, wouldn't happen. Those goals, those dreams, are what are literally what will make us a world a better place. And they're powerful, and I think we all feel that. And there's nothing more important than to give the world hope, to give young people especially hope. I want the young people here to know we believe in you, we have your back, you're not alone, and we care deeply about what you care about. We're going to work together. The other thing I wanted to say very quickly is that this is a powerful movement. I mean, we're a small group here, but there are thousands of young people this contest has touched around the world. The dream hubs that will take off are going to empower those young people to think about these goals in a whole different way. We're going to put them together with experts, but we're also going to encourage them to think on their own about what next steps will bring us closer to a world without poverty, cleaner oceans, where everybody is treated equally, where there aren't war criminals and corrupt politicians. All the things that we've talked about today. And it is a powerful and wonderful opportunity for young people everywhere, because of the power of the information system we have now to be touched by this contest. And I am delighted today to be able to announced the kickoff of our next contest. From today until January the 13th, we're going to invite young people all over the world to tell us what they care about and tell us how they want us to get there. And we'll join forces with them once again and honor them, support them, connect them with people who can help them make a difference, but give them the hope that they deserve and that the world deserves. So that is going to start happening now. I hope you all spread that word. A quick word about some important thank yous we have to do today. There are so many people in this room and behind this organization who deserve thanks. They include partners and mentors and hosts and supporters. A couple of key folks. We have an amazing law firm that does pro bono work for us, helped us create bylaws and a board of directors, and helped us navigate a number of legal issues, Latham and Watkins Law Firm. We want to thank them. We also want to thank Pat and Rolf Sartorius with Social Impact. They gave us an amazing facilitator who worked with our board to kind of think through how we build this organization out, the Global CoLab, over the next 5 to 10 years. We want to thank Patricia and Harriet, two of our additional board members, both of whom in their own ways have done remarkable work for the organization and have supported us. Patricia hosted a fundraiser. We raised thousands of dollars this fall. Harriet is here and has helped us stream this event through Turkish TV and has also been helped us promote Teen Stream through the Turkish Fall Festival with Sophia this year. We also want to thank our tremendous, I don't think they've had to leave, but our wonderful Turkish friends who provided coffee and snacks. Gizem White, the coffee lady, who has a terrific shop at Tyson's Corner. If you want to stop by, I'd love to see you. And Amula, who's here as well, who's our mentor for our Arts Hub and has done so many things to support our organization as well. Finally, I wanted to say a quick word about money. Nobody wants to talk about it. We are, again, we're not just a shoestring. I'm not even sure it's a shoestring. We're just sort of the nub of a shoestring in terms of our operational budget. No overhead. Our founder and director does not get paid. Anything you can do, we're going to have kids walking around, literally passing the hat. So some of our teams, we walk around any amount you can give will go directly toward what you've seen here. We also thank you. We will have Team Stream shirts for sales for $25, but we appreciate any support you can give. So thank you so much.
And up next.
Hey, I think we're almost on time. Thanks so much,
Julie. Julie's also a board member. Thank you, Julie. She's been with us from the beginning. Okay, so in addition to cash prizes of up to $500 for our winners, we are now going to give each of our winners and our existing Teen Stream ambassadors a big certificate. So I need to tell you, Charisse Carney-Nunez is part of a large reason for why this organization got off the ground. So when I thought about starting Teen Stream, I thought about Charisse because her daughter and my daughter were like best friends. And I thought the only way to get Teen Stream off the ground was to get some teens involved. And who could I do that? Well, I roped in my daughter, and she roped in her friend Asia, and they roped in their friend Teddy, and the three of them started it, right? And we had our first summer camp at Charisse's house with her husband Harvey. And we created that promo video that we showed, which was hilarious, and very well done, I think. And so Charisse was there from the very beginning, and we've met countless times in living rooms over the last 5 years. I'm just really grateful for you. She brought me Monda Webb and so many other folks that we can talk about later. But so Charisse is going to give each of our winners a certificate, and then we're going to ask our co-creators to join them for a photo. So what we're going to do, we're almost done. We're pretty much done. We're going to have some music, mingling, and be out of here. So we are going to have a photo of the winners with their certificates, and then a photo of the winners and the co-creators and our Dream Hub ambassadors. So 2 major photo ops right in front, right here, okay? These are going to be just teens for now. And then we might pile in a number of other people. So this is over. We thank you all for sitting through 2.5 hours. That's a long time. But right now, Charisse is going to pass out with Aiden, lovely Aiden, his help. Aiden, by the way, has been amazing. Why don't we give a hand for Aiden? He led the teenagers on a sightseeing trip starting at 8:30 this morning. There were 16 people walking around Washington.
Okay. So since I have the mic, this is not on the agenda, but I have been here from the beginning, and I just want to take a minute because I've seen it from the vantage point from the bottom up. I've seen this when this was a dream, and I think we should all give a standing ovation to Linda Scarlett. Ryan. And we have our grand prize winner, $500, Jacqueline Mendoza.
All right, so we're going to ask you all to bunch as tight as you can, and we're going to ask our photographers, maybe you guys can do the room. I'm sorry. And then we're going to ask our co-creators to join them, so this is going to be quite an undertaking.
Do you want to announce the co-creators now?
In a minute. Well, yeah,
So they can
let's do that. Let's get this all.
Okay, Pablo.
Pablo? Oh, he's not a co-creator. These are Dream Hub.
Okay, that's what it said.
Oh, okay. So you can get, are they?
Dream Hub ambassadors.
Okay. Okay, Sophia, Alfred.